This is Tom and Paula Graves from Light of Christ Radio with a story from the Gospel of Mark.
You're welcome to watch this video simply for the story, or you can use it as the basis of a small group study.
Instructions for the small group study can be found below this video in the Show More section.
Today, we continue our series in Mark with the story of the resurrection of Jesus from Mark 16.
Well, Paula, to set the context of our story, Jesus has repeatedly told his disciples that he would suffer, die, and rise on the third day, but they really didn't understand.
Right, and so when Jesus was arrested, the disciples deserted him out of fear for their own lives.
And the Jewish council accused Jesus of blasphemy and took him to Pontius Pilate for the death sentence.
Now, Pilate couldn't find any reason to put Jesus to death, but because of politics and to avoid mob action, he went ahead and gave orders for Jesus to be crucified.
Only the women and John the disciple remained with Jesus at the cross. Two silent followers of Jesus, Joseph of Arimathea and Nicodemus, received permission to bury Jesus.
And Jesus' body is hurriedly placed into the tomb because it is time for the Sabbath. And this brings us to a story from the Word of God.
Saturday evening, when the Sabbath ended, Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James, and Salome went out and purchased burial spices so they could anoint Jesus' body. Very early on Sunday morning, just at sunrise, they went to the tomb.
On the way, they were asking each other, "Who will roll away the stone from us from the entrance of the tomb?" But as they arrived, they looked up and saw that the stone, which was very heavy, had already been rolled aside. And when they entered the tomb, they saw a young man clothed in a white robe sitting on the right side. The women were shocked, but the angel said,
"Don't be alarmed. You are looking for Jesus of Nazareth, who was crucified. He isn't here. He is risen from the dead. Look, this is where they laid his body. Now go and tell his disciples, including Peter, that Jesus is going ahead of you to Galilee. You will see him there just as he told you before he died."
And the women fled from the tomb, trembling and bewildered, and they said nothing to anyone because they were too frightened. And this is a story from the Word of God.
If you're using this video for a small group application, after you've watched this video, try retelling the story from what you heard.
Then read the text. Discussion questions are below in the Show More section.
May this story help you on your journey of life.
Be blessed.